I'm Skank Cocaine. This is a knitting podcast. I live here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia with my husband, 2 kids, a dog, a bird, 2 cats. Yeah, that's it. And I want to share a few of the projects I have going on. I do have 2 finished objects for you today. I'm really excited about that. I can't believe it, but it's true. So, I have very little time before my kids get home from school, so I'm going to just really hurry and show you this. So, I finished the Willa tee by This Bird Knits, and this is out of my Luxe Fingering in the Peach Pie colorway. And it's great. I love it. I used a size 8 needle. That's what the pattern called for. This was 1 skein of yarn. I probably would have broken into a second one if I had wanted it to be longer. It was just completely like an inch left of yarn to cast off. So I did that. I love it, just in time for winter. I love it. It's fabulous. Okay, so I completed something. And then look at this. This is my Millie by Nice and Knit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is a very, very simple top-down raglan. And I did it out of my Sexy Slub in the Iconic colorway. And it took 2 skeins to do this. And I'm not sure what took me so long to finish this, but I'm going to wear this all the time. This actually is totally me, totally kind of the things I like to wear and knit. So yeah. So this was my Sexy Slub Iconic, and I used 2 skeins, and it was knit on a size US 6. And this reminds me so much of Eileen Fisher, like something that she would come out with. If you notice, I did modify the sleeves. I made a slight bell in the sleeve. I just love it. So that's the 2 finished objects. Thank you very much. And then I cast on with my Cash Luxe Aran weight using 2 strands held double. I cast on the Magnolia Bloom sweater. And if this is not 80s, 70s, this is 70s. I already know what the picture's gonna look like that I'm gonna take when I get it done. I'm gonna have platform, animal print shoes, black wide leg pants. I just can't wait to take a picture of this yarn, of this sweater. It was so fun to do, with the exception of the bobbles. It was really super fun. I love the rolled collar. So you knit and then you fold it over and you sew it down. I love it. What else can I say about it? I used a 10.5 to knit it. And like I said, it's double stranded. So I'm gonna end up using probably 10 skeins. I'm doing the medium. But I've started the bottom. I'm just loving this. I'm gonna do the sleeves in a couple days, and then I will have a finished sweater. So that is very exciting. As for my pressed flower shawl, I really in the middle of a row this time. Like, I just started another row, but I I made a really terrible mistake, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks. I'm not sure if I showed you this much of it or not, but I made a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake. There was a chart that I was supposed to be doing. I don't know if you do this, where you think you know the pattern, like you skim it a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, I've got this. It's just a triangle shawl, and then there's going to be a border of a different chart on the bottom. Well, guess what? I didn't do the chart on the second chart that I was supposed to be doing simultaneous, at the same time. I was supposed to be doing this it's not really an applied border. I can't even really explain to you what it is, but I wasn't doing it. So I'm just gonna do the whole thing the way I thought I was supposed to be doing it, and hopefully it will look okay. I don't know if it will or not, to be honest with you. I'm really not sure, but that really took the wind out of my sails. It just made me not want to do it anymore. But it's so pretty. It is so gorgeous. It is probably the most gorgeous thing I will have ever knit, but I'm not doing it right. So it kind of made me sad and made me not want to do it. And then I started the Quadri hat by Michelle Wong? I'm not sure. It's a cabled hat. Love it. It's I'm doing the large size. It uses worsted weight yarn. And so this is how far I am with this. This is fun. I love doing lace knitting. I love it. Completely takes me away. I mean, it's so engrossing. So I actually don't do that well with mindless projects. Like my half and half triangle wrap, I don't actually do well with just mindless knitting unless I'm like going to lunch with friends or something like that, and then I will do mindless knitting. But I typically don't do well because then my mind starts to wander, and then I start obsessing about all the things that I need to get done and all of that. Whereas if I do a lace pattern like this, or the top of my magnolia bloom, if I do this kind of lace and bobble and stuff, I'm completely engrossed and I'm so captivated by it, and it really does just take me away. So I wanted to use this yarn. This was a Cloudborn Merino DK, I believe, and I wanted to try it and see if I liked it because I have like 10 skeins of it. So why do I have 10 skeins of it, you ask? Well, things got really insane in my house recently. Like, talk about misadventures of skein cocaine. I mean, things got nuts. So one of my friends, her father died suddenly. He was in his 80s, but it was an unexpected death. And her mother is going into an Alzheimer's like memory facility. And I should be knitting right now while I'm talking to you. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna knit on this Espace Tricot shawl out of my yak. Yeah, I have to tell you the story. Let's see what time it is. It's 2:15. Okay, so I have a little bit of time. I can talk to you about it. Okay, so her dad died suddenly. Her mother's in a memory care facility, and her mother was a prolific sewist, and I mean, she pretty much did everything. She did cross stitch, needlepoint, she did knitting, obviously. She was a good customer of mine when I owned my store. And my friend is just cleaning everything out because her mother can't do any of that anymore. She's lost the ability. So she called me in to take a look, and she said, do you want these needles? And I was like, yeah, I'll take the needles. And then all of a sudden I had 5,000 new knitting needles. And we're not just talking about crappy ones. You know, there were Addie, Chiagu, there were a couple glass ones. I remember I bought a pair of glass needles from Rhinebeck. There was just, and she gave me some yarn, and one of the yarns was this Cloudborn. So I wanted to try it, but I shouldn't be knitting anything that is not actually, I shouldn't be knitting anything because I'm taking the time to do a sample and I should be doing it out of my yarn. Anyway, she also had a sewing table and I always wanted to set up a sewing. I'm looking at the sewing table right now. I also always wanted to have a sewing table set up because in my mind, I wanted to be like the Hey Sisters, you know, Hey Sister podcast. I wanted to be like them where I was going to make my entire wardrobe and knit all my sweaters. So I bought a serger from her and I bought a really big table. And the next thing I know, I've got the whole front of my house I've got 3 sewing machines, a serger, a huge gigantic sewing desk, 5,000 more new needles. Everything just went bonkers. Like all of a sudden, I went overboard and now, and you know what else she gave me? She gave me one of those doll houses that, you know, but it's like an adult dollhouse. It's got everything, all the furniture, but you have to put them together and you have to stain them. And she even needle pointed a rug to go in this house. I mean, this is a major thing. Well, Marcelo was like, I want this. I'm going to do it with the neighbor kids and we'll do it together. So I had to set that up somewhere where she could get to it and all of the stuff that went with it. So I have a sewing station in the front of my house. My entire office is full of needles and new yarn. None of it my yarn, of course, but beautiful yarn nonetheless. And then this dollhouse. That is a massive, massive thing. So it's just crazy. And then we're finishing up Advents, which is, I had to come up with 25 new colorways. So I've decided, I got with my family and I got with the girl that helps me out, and we all agreed that I'm not going to do Advents next year. I'm going to do them every other year because I started working on those Advents the minute I announced and sold the Advents. I sold all the Advents in May, and then I've been working on those Advents since May. So it's going to be like a 6-month ride of work that I can't really dye much anything else. You know, I'm dyeing things here and there, special orders and things like that, but I'm not able to really do a lot. I mean, like I wanted to, isn't that pretty? I have so many great ideas. I have so many exciting things I want to do, and I can't do any of them because of Advent, because I have to just get Advent done. When I mail out all those Advents, I'm going to have like a party with a tent and probably, you know, a quartet playing. I'm going to celebrate that. And I can't just turn around a couple months later and start this whole process over again. I need to have a full year to recover. And I have a friend that has a huge 500-person New Year's Eve party, and she does it every other year. She doesn't do it every year, it's every other year. And that's pretty much how it's going to be with the Advents. I think they're wonderful. I love it. I'm so appreciative of all the people that bought the Advents. And I hope you love them because blood, sweat, and tears, not literal blood, but sweat and tears went into these Advents, and I just can't turn around and do it again, like 6 months later. It's not enough recovery time. I need recovery time. So it's gonna be every other year. No one thinks I'm gonna carry through with it. Everyone thinks, oh, by the time May rolls around, you're gonna wanna do it again. No, if I announce I'm doing Advents 2022, everyone needs to say, no, Gina, you can't. Like, look out for me. No. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. So things have gotten really out of control in my house, completely and totally out of control. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Anyway, so that's it for now. Yeah, I need to sign off here, but I wanted to just pop in, show you what I'm working on. And is there anything else? No, that's about it. But I had 2 finished objects for you guys. You should be clicking your heels on that. I finally got some stuff done. Of course, I cast on how many other things? Does anybody else do that? Anybody? Does anyone do that? You finished one thing, you cast off one thing, and then you you bind off something and you finish something, and then you cast on 5 more things because you're so virtuous that you finish that one thing out of the 100 whips that you have. And you know I have 100 whips. You've seen it. If you're not sure how many whips I have, you can go back and watch my whip video and you can see exactly how many I have. So, yeah, I'm tired. I do love my life though, I have to tell you. I love my business. I love my yarn. I love how things are coming together. I love knitting with my own yarn, but my house has gotten, it just all of a sudden, it's the Marie Kondo. It's like the opposite of Marie Kondo. There's stuff everywhere, and I have to get a grip, and I will get a grip, and I'll tell you how that's going the next time that we chat. So I wonder how you guys handle your stash and your stuff. You know what I'm particularly interested in is how you guys organize your needles. I've seen some people print out sheets of paper and put them in a sleeve. I have that thing that I got from that woman that is in memory care that has the hanger that you slide in, but that only fits some of them. I am curious how you organize your needles. If you have a lot of them, how do you do it? I would be interested to know. I've got to get a grip. I'm losing the fight. I've got to get control, because the more chaotic that things are and the more cluttered that things are, the less I can find things, the less productive I am, the more stressed I am, the more anxiety I have. So I need some tools. I need an administrative assistant. If someone would like to be my administrative assistant and lives locally to me, would like to help me, comment below. I need help. Okay. Well, the next time you see me, I'm definitely gonna have this sweater done. I'm really excited for this. I don't know why, this is like the most exciting sweater that I have knit in a while. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. Chaos over here as usual, but all good, having fun. Life is busy and crazy, and I hope that your life is all good where you are, and you're loving your knitting, you're loving your friends, you're loving your family, and sweater weather is coming. Yay! Okay, bye.